Feet hurting, world full of busy bees working. I ain't never met a free person. I don't get along with these earthlings. I'm trying to seek purpose, fight for something I believe's worth it. For the curse, I'ma reverse it. I don't dream cause I sleep nervous. Yet I keep flirting, face death like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'm a drink thermos, tell the bartender keep serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy when the weed burning, traded oxygen to breathe herbin. Till I see curtains, lungs failing, they cease working. Air is something that I need urgent, suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad blessed, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down to my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweating shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt. Never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever in the last lap. I let the record show. I let the tech explode. Put up the weapon show. Pull up the Texaco. Knuckles in Mexico. Pull up the technical. Then know the text will blow. Shout out, I'm Plexico. Show you the vegetable, body electrical, act to the alkaline, body so flexible. The shooter's feast like a Uber Eats, got a group of these scooter beats. But letting the Uzi and Ruger speak, an American got up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak, they follow and creeps. Powers they be, inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Been to the mountaintop towers and peaks, flowers and streets and showered our feet. The light in the desert and shower the sweet, shower the deeds. It's not a verse, it's our receipts. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you live it is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad blessed, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down to my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweating shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt. Never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever in the last left.
It's like a track fish. I attract women, they the bad women. I'ma splash in them, leave a bag with them. Then I raise seeds to be mad different. If I die now, I'm coming back in them. Cause they dad missing, but they cash dripping. Cause they royalty, so they brag different. Ain't no ass kissing, never had feelings. Seen a white victim and a black witness. Mac ripping on my last mission. Yak sipping, blowing blackism. Gat missing, he was lack slipping. Smack hit him, now we act different. Apparition, the bad vision, the maggot chip him, a crash the system. Uncle Tom, cause you that willing. Fuck the law, I'm going back to living. Astral prism to black religions. Activism to conversations. Sacrilegious to palms of Satan. Black magicians, Babylon erasing. Raise our hands to the gods we praising. Hustling, the marathon we racing. Nipsey at the finish line, he waiting.
What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest.
All right. There you have it, family. Last Breath by the good brother Cambada and Black Magic, aka Father Rich. As you can see, you can listen to the album on YouTube. So just go and put Holy Ghost 2 on YouTube and go and stream that album. I prefer you go to the streaming platforms and stream that bad boy and give us those Spotify numbers, you know, because it's a streaming game. You can't talk crazy if you don't got streaming numbers. You can't talk, you know what I mean? You can't really grab your sack. You know, you can't act crazy. You can't pop your collar if your numbers is not there, because a nigga will shut you down in a millisecond. You know what I'm talking about? So you gotta get your numbers up. So yeah, we need to get some screaming. We need y'all to scream that. You know what I'm talking about? Scream it. Get that thing screaming. You know? But let's do this roll call. We got this nice little feature right here where we'll go all the way back. Mound City is in the building. St. Louis is in the building. ATL is in the building. Now you could really see it. You know what I'm saying? You could feel it. Tampa's in the building. ATL is in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Odenton, Maryland is in the building. Macon, Georgia is in the building. Orlando's in the building. One day I'm going to do the accents for every city that's in the building so we can really have fun. North Carolina's in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Chi-Town in the building. St. Louis in the building. Tampa's in the building. Chi-Town is in the building. Yeah, piece of West Cali in the building. Hey, cuz. West Cali in the building, cuz. Oh, Narcos in Mexico. Yeah. You know, bow. Thank you for that powerful bill last night. Yes, it definitely was. Family, if you're not informed, if I didn't already say it, and I might not have said it on Third Eye Thursdays, because this is the first Third Eye Thursdays in like 2 weeks. But we brought back Know the Ledge Radio. All right, let me get some hand claps. Yay! And we broadcast on Wednesdays now. All right. It's 10 years since the day that we started Know the Ledge Radio. If people think I just got into the game the day I bought my iPhone or something, or the day you found me, no, we've been here for a very, very long time. We've been setting the stage for you guys for a long time, and we've been in this, for what it feels like an eternity. But Know the Ledge Radio is one of our first ventures as a collective, red and blue pillar together, the twin pillars. Usually people get us in single doses, but the radio show that we debuted on Blog Talk Radio, January 8th, 2010, on the Prophet's birthday, right? That was, that was our foray into conscious, what we would call conscious media. I don't even think that there's a tag or a niche for that right now, but they say new media, but conscious media is what we create, what we helped, and what we added on, because other people were creating it as well. But, we threw our hat in the ring. So now on Wednesdays on YouTube, you get to see Red and Blue Pill together with one of their guests in a format live stream. It's different than the radio. It hit differently than the podcast. So if anybody that was in the building last night, you'll let them know. Let me just show you. Yesterday was lit, right? Y'all was on point last night. It was lit, right? Right, yeah. KTL exploded. Awesome build. Last night was a 3-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? That bill was titanium. So I'm a handful by myself. Just imagine me and my brother along with somebody else from the community who is considered to be powerhouses, because we want to load the clip. We got an extendo over here. We want to load the drum with 100 ball heads and keep hitting you upside the head with these pills of knowledge. I'm talking about, rapid fire, chopper type, you know what I mean? Chopper style. You know what I'm talking about? Gunning you down with this information, from every single angle, sniper gang, you know what I mean? Walk up gang, you know what I'm talking about? All of those gangs, gang, you know what I mean? The slime gang, we want to slap, we want to execute this information. We want to be the hitmen's of consciousness, so that's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing. Okay. So we know that everybody's in the building tonight, right? Rogue City is in the building, was really good. You know what I'm talking about? Peace to Rogue City. Charlotte is always in the building. I don't think I've ever done a show without Charlotte being there. And to be honest with you, that means something, because if there's people from a city that always show up to tap in, like if they always are receiving your signal, then that means that the signal from where they're at is very strong for you, and you should go there. You know what I'm saying? That's what my spirit tells me. I'm paying attention to all of the metrics. That's the roll call is hood data. You know what I mean? We're doing hood data because Blog Talk and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, when we log on, they have a digital roll call just like this. They know where everybody, it's called an IP and address, right? And they know where everybody's logged in from. So they have you geolocated, geo-targeted, and they sell that kind of information. So when we do these shows and we open it up and we do roll call, you know, this is a form of data collection. We're actually crunching data in real time. You dig what I'm saying? Getting people's location. Yo, send me the Addy. I'm gunning them down. You know what I'm talking about? Send me the Addy. I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Where you at, niggas? Send me the Addy. You know? Okay, downtown Atlanta is in the building. I used to be downtown Atlanta on North Side. We owned a bistro in 2012. Not me personally, my peoples. But if they own it, I own it. And then, you know, I used to be out there. It was decent. 713 Screwston. I don't even know it. Is that Houston? Oh, that's Houston. That's real wavy right there. I like that. 713 Screwston. You dig? That energy on North Click. I'm going to be in North Carolina and I'm going to be in South Carolina. I'm going to be in North Carolina for Juneteenth. And I'm going to be in South Carolina maybe before that. So we pulling up in the Carolinas, the Geechee Gullah side, you know, before the end of the year. If anybody was on last night's show, you know what this year entails. We're just getting started. 2020 is already lit. And we're just getting started. It's just going to give you an example of what's to come. So a year later from this date today, January the 16th, you're going to be like, God damn, so much stuff has happened. There's been so much change. You know, so many things have improved and leveled up because that's what this year represents. And last night's show, instead of, you know, dealing in the realms of speculation, where it's not necessarily wrong or it's not a crime to deal with speculation, but speculation is not good enough in these days and times. You need to build with facts. This is wisdom. You need to come with some information that's basically fact. You know what I'm saying? It's not speculation. It's proven. It's written in the stars. So that's what the brother Ras Ben is able to do. He's able to really give you the information, the cosmological information, the astrological information. You dig what I'm saying? And he laid it out. He basically spelled it out. And like I said, I saw a video that he did in 2019 where he was talking about some of the things that were going to happen in the first weeks of January. And he was so on point that we had to bring him on the show, and we had to let the family and the world and the globe and the galaxy know that we know. It's one thing to know some shit, but it's another thing to let the universe know that you know this shit. You understand? And stand on it and you know, be heard and be seen. So I'm saying that to say there's a magical dynamic that me and my brother bring when we join forces as the twin pillars, and you get to see it in the music. You get to see it sometimes on YouTube through Brother Rich's channel and even on Sinetta's channel. but you're really going to get to see it on Know the Ledge Media on Wednesdays when we come back together and we roll out Know the Ledge Radio 2020. You know what I'm saying? And really show you, really raise the bar, really raise the frequency, really return to hardcore teaching and demonstrating and building and solutions and introducing you to a whole pantheon of winners, And when I say winners, I don't mean people who are necessarily coming on here to stunt, with their little Gucci collection and whatnot, or how many sandals they own, all of the frivolous shit. I'm talking about winning in whatever lane that they occupy. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is a race at the end of the day, and different people occupy different lanes. And if you comfortably in the lead, or if you on a cruise control in your lane and you cool with whatever pace that you're going at in your position in that lane, then you're winning. Okay. Don't try to overdo it. That's how a lot of niggas flip the cars and crash and whatnot and have 60 car pileups, because you zigzagging out of your lane. You in and out of your lane, So look forward to shows featuring Red and Blue, Mama Pill, KT, AA Rashid, the legends, everyone that we started with, because everybody that we started with, we still with, and that's a telltale sign about the character and the integrity of an individual. It's a lot of dudes out here that started out with a lot of people, but they're nowhere to be found with those people anymore. The people don't even remember them. They'd be like, who's that? They'll do you like Liar Cohen did Dame Dash on the break. Who's that? I don't know who that is. You know what I'm talking about? Who that is? So it's important to stay 10 toes down, right? It's important to stay, to stay 1,000 with the people that you came up with, especially the sandbox. You know what I'm saying? Because the sandbox is going to hold you down. If they really got love for you, like if it's really real, they're going to hold you down, my brothers and sisters. But that's very important. That is very important. I'm telling you, like I said, I closed my year out. My December started. Well, look, my spring equinox started with the Nipsey murder, assassination, ascension, for that matter. Although I'm not acting like that was my ace boom coon. We used to go get our hair braided together. You know what I'm saying? We was out there crip walking together, or we was marching for peace, because that definitely wasn't the case. But the same way that the possibility that he was paying attention to what me and Blue was doing thousands and thousands of miles away, because everything is one recommendation away on YouTube. And I was watching what he was doing, and I was impressed. And I was like, look at son run. Look at him go. You know what I'm saying? Look at what he's doing. Look at his work. Sun is shining. He's shining the way that I like to see my people shine, because definition of shining has to be defined by the individual. Because some of you niggas, your definition of shining is, celebrating someone who walks around the neighborhood who basically successfully destroyed the lifelines of your community. You reward people like that, get rewarded. You know what I mean? Niggas give them their daughters and whatnot. They get treated like elites in these neighborhoods. So, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of great things going on. You know, I know that y'all can feel the shift. There's a big shift going on, big drip. It's a big drip energy in the universe right now. You know, the potential that the people possess is becoming electrified and magnetic. When I go online, you know, the way that my shit is set up, the way that my timeline seems to be set up, because I kind of cleaned it up, you know, I altered it. I played a part in the algorithm, and I went ahead and did my due diligence with getting it cleaned up. And the algorithm basically starts spitting back to me empowerment. It started spitting back to me people that are doing things. It started spitting back to me very beautiful queens, goddesses, babies, and their children and their families. You know, so my timeline isn't as debaucherous as it was at one point. So, you know, when I go online, I'm seeing a lot of things taking place. You know, the whole thing, the Akon, you know, that seed that he planted on the day of the Saturn Pluto conjunction. For all of my researchers, for all of my teachers, my future master teachers, like, don't look past what is being done. You know, just because you might not understand what the schools of thought and knowledge are, you might not understand the power of doing things on alignments. You might not understand what these rituals are if it's not tied to the boogeyman, Illuminati, and Aleister Crowley, and these niggas who you never met. And 89.9%, you're not gonna put no tiger paw or a one mitten on any of them if you had the chance to. You know what I'm talking about? You're not that angry at them. So we need to stop talking about them. You know, we need to start talking about the people that's out here winning. And going back to what I was saying, when I say winning, I'm saying those who are occupying said lane that they commandeer, and they're doing it in a way where they're commanding their lanes. They should be assisted. They should be, you know how there's roadside assistance, you know, like in the Daytona 500, it's people that's willing to come and change them tires and whatnot and get your shit spruced up. So the next lap that you go on, you're doing it at an accelerated pace. Yeah, people need that. You know, the person who's handing out the Gatorade on the side of the road during the marathon and whatnot, assisting the people who are the Kenyans who are successfully holding down their pace in the race. You dig what I'm saying? That's what our community needs to start doing, because there's people out here that are steady in their race. They are holding down the lanes that they occupy, and they're out here winning. You understand? And they're putting on for the people, and they're putting on for their brand. They're putting on for their crew. They're putting on for their clique. They're putting on for their family. They're putting on for their nation. They're putting on for their tribe. They're putting on for the woos, the chews, the zoos, everything. You name it. People belong to things. There's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody don't belong to something that you belong to, so what? If you're paying attention to these people, or if you know about these people and what they're doing and how they're moving and what they're about is going to help improve your life or your children's life or your community and whatnot, you should get behind these people. Shout out to Rowdy Rich. That song is going to be #1. The Box. I just retweeted a tweet. They got all of these celebrities and whatnot trying to take that young man off of his throne because he opened up the year with a song called The Box. Right? Now, Blue Pill was breaking down the reality, the science behind, what we see as the pagan New Year, January 1st, and how wrong that is and all of this other stuff, not realizing that this whole thing is a ritual dealing with the sun, and the sun going into the box, and then the sun coming out the box and resurrecting and whatnot. So here it is, this young man has a song called The Box, and all of these pop stars like Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez are trying to drop albums in 2020 to hit it, to make a #1 hit, so they could still be wave, so they could still the energy, so they can steal the quote unquote the you know, the cosmic, the way that the cosmos is speaking to us right now. Nigga, we lit. We came into 2020 as a people super lit, and we're still lit. We're electrified at this point. You understand? This is going to become the soaring 20s, and it's going to be on our wings. And he has a line in that song, and the reason why that song is doing what it does, and the reason why Rowdy is a legend, and the reason why Nipsey is smiling down on him is because Rowdy Rich is dealing with quantum. You understand? He's doing what we've been asking these artists to do from the gate, to take the pencil, right? To take the lead and to create their own reality based off of what they write on a piece of paper. You understand? Because it's through the pen, the pen is mightier than the sword. All right? The pen is still mightier than the sword. So in his song, in his second verse, he said that he's gonna put 100 bands on Zimmerman shit. This is the first rapper, right? 2012, Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin. This is the first rapper who actually has a hit, because I'm sure other rappers have said something about Zimmerman, but this is one of the first rappers who has something greasy to say about the Zimmerman character, right? Who is an energetic roadblock. He's a chaos. He's a chaos magician, but in so many wrong ways. You understand? And as soon as Rowdy Rich puts the song out about I'm gonna put 100 bands on Zimmerman shit, he said I'm the 2020 candidate. He said I'm the 2020 presidential candidate. Shit, I'm gonna put 100 bands on Zimmerman shit. It's always these shooters and these niggas they have the USA dream team of shooters. These niggas down south and these rappers and whatnot. You would think, right, that they have the drill all stars. That these niggas have the bankhead version of the motherfucking the ISIS. You know what I mean? Niggas who they could just go to prayer, Allah, and send them to go body something. That's what, you know, that's how these rappers talk about how many bands. You know, I'm gonna put a band, I'm gonna put a plate on his head, I'm gonna put a band, I'm gonna put some Wonder Bread on this nigga's head, and we're gonna get his, you know, what did Benny say? They brought your cat back. They said they blew it off your head. So all of these rappers brag about how they could clean things up and they could take care of problems, and they have so many committed shooters. Yet and still, in the real world, which is the rap world, because there's no distinction at this point, right? Because the more murder that these niggas rap about towards each other, you see those numbers increase. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't like they like, yo, it's not like the numbers are going down. So in the quantum universe, you speak things into existence. You don't have to do anything. You just speak it into existence. And if enough people have an agreement to it and they put that into the universe, that becomes an affirmation. And because the reason why that power what he put in the song, the reason why it's working is because 2 or 3 days ago, I got an inbox where somebody had an article where they said Boozy Badass ran into George Zimmerman and beat his ass in a Walmart. So I'm like, well, goddamn it. When I looked at the article, you know exactly where I went. I went right to Vlad, because Vlad has become like the Associated Press when it comes to hip hop news. If it's not on Vlad, you got to question if that shit is real. And it's sad that it's come to that. But you know, for the hip hop blogs that were out there, for the hip hop blogs who could have been the go-to blogs, What the fuck? They dropped the ball. I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know. I don't know where they at. I don't know who's out there working, you know, but that one thing that Vlad is doing is that nigga's working. You can say what you want to say. That nigga's working. What video of Zimmerman getting slumped? I didn't see no video. Is there a video of Boozy slumping him or him getting slumped? Because Boozy said it didn't happen. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Even though who would think that he would get on the internet and say that he did something? You know what I mean? But that's the power of quantum. That's the power of the word. That's the power of saying something, not being afraid to say something. Nobody should ever tell me anything about what what Rowdy could say about a George Zimmerman when Rowdy and 800,000 other rappers have something to say about people who look like them every single day. And y'all don't say, well, they need to stop saying, no. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Even if it was fake news, it doesn't matter. It's still new. It's still, remember, there's no such thing as fake news when you're dealing with quantum. Here y'all go using these terms. You're not realizing you're not realizing how the great divine works. Okay? So what I'm saying is, when the conversation about retribution to heal the damage that was caused during that grand ritual called the Trayvon Martin factor, or the Trayvon Martin massacre, or the Trayvon Martin ritual. There's certain provisions, man. And I'm not going to be on YouTube talking about those provisions, you know, but God damn it. Like, if we got to have these conversations, you niggas are lost. For real. You might as well get back on a video game, go back to playing Fortnite and Call of Duty, because, you know, that is where your mind is, on some real virtual other shit. Like, I don't know if we could even be in the same room at this point. You know what I'm talking about? I might be too dangerous to be in the same room with you, because we think completely differently. Dead ass. You know? But shout out to Rowdy, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rowdy, man. Keep doing your thing. You know? Keep doing your thing, young boy, young man. You know? I like that album. I play that album a lot. The album is lit. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of a modernized LA. You know, the LA that I kind of picked up on when I went out there. It's not necessarily West Coast. It's influenced by the South, real heavy in LA. They have a heavy, especially the young guards. You know, especially the young guards. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that fake rah rah, I'm tough guy and all of that shit that'll take your teenage son off the streets. It's more about having fun and chasing down the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm the advocate for that. Like, I don't shy away from being a goddamn man. You know, just have some class with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never gonna tell somebody to suppress their desires and their you know, their natural primal nature to want to get some box. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know, be a man. You know what I'm saying? It's just moderation is key. 1, self-mastery is key. 2, respect is on the top of that. 3, Got to be respectful. And you have to have purpose. Alignment over everything. Exactly like Ross Ben dropped on the jump off last night, on the show last night. 2020 is about alignment over everything. It's alignment over everything. Yeah, I'm about to watch that Aaron Hernandez tonight. I didn't get to it, but I read an article about the documentary that had a lot of people talking. Aaron Hernandez, the killer from the New England Patriots, the Puerto Rican, Connecticut born. I know Puerto Ricans in Connecticut, right? Aaron Hernandez, he ain't by himself. I'm trying to explain to you. Aaron Hernandez is not in the class by himself out there in Connecticut as a Puerto Rican. Like, them niggas is kind of, you know, I don't know. They a little loose, you know, and that's nothing to take away, you know. That's not even I'm not generalizing or stereotyping, but they get busy. You know what I'm saying? They get busy. I did some research. I read up on about it. Yeah, he said that he's not locked up. He said he was in training camp, right? And we was having these conversations. It's on Netflix. The Hernandez documentary is on Netflix. It just dropped the other day. And it's hardcore. I heard it's going in. It talks about him being a homosexual, right? And, you know, it talks about what happened to him when he lost his dad. The transformation that took place, right? When he lost his father figure, okay? His hero, you know. And I don't know if he got into the homosexuality before. I think it was before that, because he was sleeping with the quarterback on the high school team, they said. You know what I mean? And they were scared to come out the closet. But they was saying that they were echoing the sentiments of many professional football players. He was like, shit, it's a whole bunch of them that feel like me or dislike me. They just can't come out because this is the NFL and it's all about that hetero, you know, hyper masculine image, right? So he's a homicidal, you know, homosexual, right? There's a class for those people, you know, the Dahmer types. You know what I mean? A lot of homicidal. Remember, the majority of the Nazi SS were homosexuals. They used to sleep with each other at night. They had bunk beds. You know, the Nazi soldiers, the majority of these Germans were ravaging, raving homosexuals. They were homicidal homosexuals. Romans, like I call them, domination. Remember, that form of, that's a form of Romanistic domination. I don't want to get all explicit. I'm going to keep and hold on to some of these bars for the buck breaking documentary that we're going to be on with Tariq Nasheed. I'll let some of that stuff go then, because I don't want to be on these soapboxes. You know, they mad. It's a lot of fragility on YouTube right now. They wild fragile to conversations like this. You know what I'm talking about? But it's dealing with Romanistic. People call it all of these names. I call it the fact that we're watching society slowly turn into Nova Roma, which is called the New Rome. That's all it is. From the crooked politics to the backwoods lifestyles, to the debauchery, to the rise in quote unquote kidnappings and rapes and all of these heinous type of sex trafficking, organ trafficking. It speaks and it feels like and it sounds like and it reads like Rome. That's all it looks like. And they're giving it all of these different titles. And it's not anything else but Rome rising back up. And whenever you see Rome rise up, Rome always falls, because Rome does not have a continuous, is not a perpetual civilization. It is a civilization that is designed to implode upon itself. So when you go and do your research, the Nova Romas, the new Romes on record, the newest ones, because there are many, but the newest ones is Paris and New York. No, Paris and DC. Okay? So you got to be very mindful of what's taking place. And there's an all-out, quote-unquote, target on anybody rolling around this thing Carthaginian, with a Carthaginian type of approach. If you are not in Rome doing as the Romans do, and you trying to be Hannibal and a Carthaginian, oh nah, they're gonna wash you up. You're gonna be targeted. You understand? You're going to be outcasted. You're going to be ostracized, you know. So like I said, I'm gonna go and check out Aaron Hernandez's story. I think it was a very sad story, you know, a tragic story. You understand? A brother, a young black man lost his life, and a man who claimed to be one of his best friends took it. Alleged. That's what he got convicted of. He lost his life. His son lost a father, and the wife lost a husband. A mother lost her son. You know, it's the cycle of life. So I'm gonna go check it out, and I've been hearing about it. So I'll let y'all know how I felt about it. I guess on Melanin Monday. What up, Red? That stream with Ross Ben was legendary. Yes, it was. Shout out to Ross Ben. I'm going to bring Ross Ben back on the show, right? We're just getting started with Ross Ben. Remember, Ross Ben did Free Your Mind, Free Your Mounds, and Your Mind Will Follow. So, and he did Rocks of All Ages, which is, he put out a book in '89 about the Stones. Stone Love. Hello? Is this Superman calling from Khalil? Is Khalil? Hey, what's up? How you doing? How's Lois? Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. The Stones, my brother. He's gonna do a show. He's gonna do a show about the Stones. Hello? Is it you? Hello, Bartholomew. How are you? Okay. Oh, I'm good. I'm on YouTube right now. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be good. He's gonna body it. We announced yesterday that we're all going to Tucson, Arizona, to the Gym Show in February. We're gonna go as a collective that's gonna collect money from our community, and we're gonna go to Arizona and we're gonna represent our community, because when they see us pop up, they go crazy. And I'm not just talking about me personally. This is not an ego thing. I'm just saying, when they see the gods and the goddesses in their proper persona, wherever you pull up to, you know, you will be greeted. If you go somewhere and it's hostile, pull out your lightsabers and get busy, because you're in enemy territory. It's not supposed to be like that. Remember, this is something that my good brother Uncle Hank dropped on me the other day of the cosmic alignment. I believe it was the 12th. We had a ceremony. He said that everything is love. There's two energies that exist. It's love and it's hate. And love creates everything. And hate is an illusion. So if you meditate on love supreme, if you meditate on love supreme, a love supreme, if you go and listen to a love supreme by Coltrane, because I shared with the family that when I started researching Noble Drew Ali and Elijah and Garvey, I was listening to the music of their times and their ages. When I was reading the philosophies and opinions of I was listening to jazz. I was listening to opera. I was listening to the music that they would have been listening to in the roaring 20s. I was listening to Cab Calloway, because I wanted to get into the frequency. When I was studying Bumpy Johnson in the numbers game, the numbers runners, the policy bankers that I'll be speaking of in an upcoming lecture, I was listening to the music of their days. And I'm gonna let you know one thing. I was able to tap in to more information I was able to open up rabbit holes just based off of being in that mode. But I'm gonna say that there's two vibrations and there's two energies. And if you vibrate on a love frequency, if you understand what the love, and I'm not talking about just some retarded love shit where, you the Bothams and whatnot, hugging up on everybody. That's not love. That's fear. I'm talking about real love, love supreme. Move with that, and you'll see mountains move. And when we move with that collectively, right? If we move with that collectively, yeah, we're gonna be doing. We're gonna see some things happen. We're gonna see some things open up, right? We're gonna see some things open up. We're gonna see some walls come tumbling down. You cannot move with the victim energy in 2020. You cannot move with I'm looking for somebody to pay back something that they wronged. You can't move. That's not the energy of 2020. You had your day. You had your shot and you had your chance. Your window was already closed. This is about claiming. This is about karmatic responsibility. This is about claiming your karmatic debt and clearing it. And this is about going forward and moving with a love frequency and, and starting from a better slate. That's what this is about. This is the winter time right now. We're in the winter season, unless you're in Australia or something. And winter, theoretically, is about shedding. Winter is about doing what? Hibernating. The winter is about losing certain things, shedding certain skins, losing some weight, dropping off the excess. You know what I mean? So we need to be focusing, those of us in the winter season. You can't be in the winter season moving on your dear summer shit, right? You don't got a summer body in the winter. You know what I'm talking about? It's not time for that. You're working on your summer body, right? So that means that you're in a lab. That means that you're in a workshop. That means that you're in a warehouse and you're chipping away at shit. You're building and destroying. You might have an empty slab with no chisel in it right now. So this is what hibernation does, though. When you get low, when you get into yourself, when you get into your bag, when you get into your focus, when you get into your alignment, then you're able to ride this thing into the quote unquote New Year's, the true New Year's, the real New Year's, of course, the beginning of the spring, April 1st. So throughout this whole season, we're going to be doing retreats. We're going to be doing online classes. We're going to be doing lectures. And we're going to be doing workshops. And then pop-ups. All right? That's it. And they're going to be catering and built around dealing with these issues, speaking to these issues, and helping walk everyone and each other, even those of us that are doing it, to help walk us through this time so we could get to the quote unquote spring and the summer winning, shining, because there's some alignments that are coming up. There's some magical things that are coming up. So we got to do our homework. We got to do the heavy lifting. We got work to do before our next alignment meets us, so we could reap the benefits and the rewards that come with that. You know what I'm saying? So discipline, self-mastery, standing on your square, standing for something, having a vision, and speaking that vision into fruition, not being afraid, not being intimidated, not being timid, not asking, not apologizing for being great, not asking permission, but not being arrogant either. Not being arrogant. You know, not being arrogant. Doing some self-evaluation, you know, being able to sit back and doing some self-evaluation and then improving upon that. That's what winners do. That's what winners in the winter do. So you can have a dear summer. You know, and this summer, January 21st, is going to be lit. 2020. It's going to be a movie. So I look forward to the next 3 months. We have some powerful, when I can't speak about it ahead of its time, but we have some very powerful things lined up for you guys. One of the things that I can speak of is going to be our Facts 2020. The first installment of Facts 2020 is going to be on the 22nd February. All right. It's going to be in New Haven, Connecticut. Let me share the screen, show you real quick what that is. Shout out to the brother Heru. And we also have the Shasta getaway. I'll pull that flyer up in a minute too. But give me 1 second. I'm looking for this. Let's jump on. Hold on. Just share the screen. There we go. So this is the Facts Initiative 2020, right? Black History Month, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. in Hartford, Connecticut, 224 Farmington Avenue. So there's a lot of twos in there. 224, that's 44. 22, that's 44. The 22nd, that's 4. So we're going to line up with our numbers and make sure this thing is done the right way. All right, keynote speakers, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Trillionaire Trav, Sabrina Wright, hosted by our brother Heru, Kevin Muhammad. Contact info 203-841-9039, $20 advance tickets. More at the door. We will be live streaming. We will be live streaming. It doesn't matter where you at. If you want to see what's going on, if you want to witness what's going on, if you want to check it out, make sure you call that number and get your ticket for the live stream, because you will be able to see it via our live stream. All right. Let me go to the Mount Shasta Day. Give me 1 minute. Y'all sign up to this. If y'all not signed up to the Instagram page, check me out. All right. It's L PhilMore. I'll put the name on the ticker. You'll see my name on the ticker. There we go. March 19th to the 23rd, 2020. Yeah, y'all can see that, right? Okay. Shasta meditation. Spring equinox healing retreat. Mushroom hikes, earth medicine, hot spring soaks, electric foods, crystal alchemy, light minds, meditation, and more. Woo, sounds like my type of thing. All right. Go to ShastaMeditation.com and book your spot today. You do not want to miss that. All right. For everybody that's always asking us what's going on, when are we doing something? Well, there you have it. Those are some things that we're doing on top of the other things that we're doing. So check us out. You know what I'm saying? Check us out. You know, come and kick it with your peoples. Like I said, it pays to witness what's going on. It pays to witness rather than watch. Watching is good, but it pays to witness. You know what I mean? What's going on? Because to witness this thing is a whole nother thing. You know, you want to be there. You want to be a part of this. You want to be able to be like, yeah, we was with the brothers. We pulled up. We, you know, they was in our city. We met them. We got pictures. We got merchandise. You know what I mean? We got the gold water. You know, we got their music. You know, because if I didn't know me, I would be like, I would take advantage. You know what I'm talking about? You know. So the Trayvon, okay, all right. So Trayvon didn't die. Okay. So if he didn't die, you know, then at this point, so many people did die. You know, Mike Brown, Alton Sterling, you know, Freddie Gray, Tamir Rice. So many people died. And to me, based off of my research, it was all part of a psyops. And it started with the Trayvon ritual, right? And it don't matter if he didn't die in real life. They already completed the ritual. Symbolically, he died. They had his goddamn corpse. Yeah, I seen dead bodies before. His picture when he was laying on the fucking lawn with his mouth open, bro. That wasn't an actor from Craigslist, nigga. That was a cadaver. You understand what a cadaver is? That means that was a body without a soul in it. Are you familiar with how that looks? Because I had the opportunity when I was doing my research for the Trayvon Martin. I'm gonna pull up the episode now that you brought it up, and I thank you for bringing it up because we could share the screen now. The shit is just different now. It takes things. I don't have to talk about things. I could just pull it up. But when I was doing my research for this episode, the Trayvon. When I was doing my research for the Trayvon Martin shit, bro, and I came up, the Trayvon Martin Factor is the name of the show, and I came across the picture of the young god on the lawn laid out like that, nigga. And you saying that that's fake? I don't know if I could agree with that. You know, gotta be careful. All that shit that you listen to on YouTube, bro. Like they be out here cooking niggas for real. You know, they be out here cooking people. This is the episode right here. This is Blog Talk Radio. You understand? This is Know the Ledge Radio. This is the Trayvon Martin Factor. Let me see when this was done.
Blog Talk Radio.
This was at an extremely. The verdict was on 7/13/13 on a Saturday. I remember it. So this was done in 2013. Look, it say 6 years ago. This time when they acquitted Zimmerman, this was wild important in Black America, bro. This was a catalyst to where we at right now. Like that was I don't know if you understand what was being done, but that was a catalyst to where a lot of people are mentally and emotionally right now, fam. So when I was doing that research, I was 10 toes deep. My daughter was about to be born. Like that shit had an impact on my spirit. So to say that man was not dead, when I looked at him on the lawn in his death picture, I'm saying that you smoking that bath salt. You know what I mean? If you believe that. Or you probably didn't see the picture, or you might have never saw a dead body to know what it looked like. But I know what it looked like. And that man was dead. That young man was dead. Bless you. So unless they put a whole body there that wasn't him, just to fool us, I don't know what to say to you, brother. But we're gonna kill that right here, so we don't have to continue to, like I said, this is about shedding the skin, and shedding the skin includes going into the rest of this year, dropping a lot of that dumb shit that was weighing us down. Like if I'm in Harlem in 2020 and a nigga says Illuminati to me, I'm gonna spin on him. I'm gonna hit him with the spin move. I'm gonna hit him like the white boy in Dallas, Luca. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to even talk to you. If you're talking about the Illuminati in 2020, bro, I'm gonna hit you with the Heisman. It's some shit that you niggas gotta let go. You understand? It's some outdated, played out teaching and lessons that y'all just gotta let go. Because that's not part of the jump. It's gonna hold you down. What did he say? The Diamond Eugene is not the real Diamond Eugene. Okay. I'm spinning you. Like how them young boys be drilling, that spin dance that the wolves be doing. Fabio and them, I'm spinning you, bro. I'm gonna spin on you like it's a new dance move. I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to have a conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Let that go. You're not doing nothing to the Illuminati. You're not built to do nothing to them. You scared of them because niggas done put fear in your heart that these people are in airports, the men in black. They got everything tapped. They're watching you. You know what I mean? You're in a perpetual state of fear because nobody ever had a lecture talking about what to do to these niggas. You understand? Nobody have no smoke. So what is there to talk about? How dare we entertain speaking about some people who you claim are hunting you? That you claim is hunting you. That you would admit this hunting you. That you would admit this, and then you call these men supreme? You have the audacity to say, oh, these are supremacists. Do you know in the 90s, my OGs would knock our fucking tops off if they ever heard us talking like that. They did not, they didn't, and these are high school dropouts. And they could not conceive how a white person could be supreme to them. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. It don't matter if black people was getting gunned down or if niggas had a hard time getting apartments. They would never fix their lips to ever call white people supreme or the system that they was out here jacking every day supremacy. We was out here breaking their system. We was out here throwing rocks at their system. We were out here putting a middle finger up to anything that you would call the establishment. How dare niggas run around calling these people supreme? Yeah, she was out there. She naming all of the names of my OGs right there. Black Justice, Prince, Life, Scientific, Master Born. Yeah, she's on point. This sister knows what she's talking about. That's all factory right here. This is history. My OGs was God bodies. They was gangsters, but they were gods. I don't think the gods get enough credit for who would remember. And I'm not saying this in a big. I'm not saying this on some trying to sun nobody, but the god bodies exported the culture of the gods and the earths and the Father Allah through hip hop. Okay, what you call hip hop is not just hip hop. You're calling it hip hop because you're in places where you don't know what the influence that the gods, the 5%ers is what they call them. The gods is really God's. Do you know why it's really God's? Because they came in the 70s, and out of their teachings, out of their lessons, out of their demonstration, out of what they were doing on the ground, transformed that city into the mecca of Black entertainment. You understand? And it's impacted the whole world to where they did what? They stood up at the Fresh Fest, and they stood up at every damn tour where Black people came out on stage in front of those Europeans, and they bear witness. The Wu-Tang got out there and was like, we God, and they bear witness to that. Are you kidding me? Are you shitting me? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? She's naming everything. This is all history. AFC. That's where we came up. Minga Posse. AFC, right there in Flatbush. These were the gods. These were the gods. But they would say that the white man is devil and the Black man is God. And that they were going to eat off of the land every day. They were gangster. They got it how they lived. They wasn't no poor righteous teachers. But they were showing us what it was to be civilized. They were showing us what it was to be to have supreme balance. They were showing us what it was to be aligned. Because they were reading books in between getting their money. You had to know your lessons. You had to know the science of the day. Like, they don't do that no more. There's no discipline. Nobody's being held to no accountability. These brothers was calling Black women the earth and spitting mad game at them. Brand Nubians, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim Allah, the Supreme Team. Like, this is all gods. And this is the pinnacle of the streets. This was the pinnacle of the streets. Whenever go and watch, if you watch the podcast Queens Flip, what's his name? Flip the Script. Right? They're gonna give you the story about the gods, how the Bloods began. They're gonna talk about how all of these gangs in New York evolved, and the gods always had their hands in it. They always had their hands in it. They always was playing a part. They talk about the low lives. Nigga, that was the god. The gods was a part of that. They talk about Decepticons. The gods was in that. That was the gods turned into Decepticons. They turned into lowlights, and then they turned into Bloods, and then they turned into Crips. And then when the crack era hit in the early 90s, what do you think Jaz-O is? When Jaz-O is big, Jaz-O is Jay-Z's big homie, because the gods are the big homies. When you see Raekwon and all of them, and they talk about Papa Wu and them, yeah, that's the big homies. When you talk about Queensbridge and they got Intelligent Hoodlum, yeah, that's the big homie. That's the big homies. Yeah, Freedom. These the big homies. So they were running things, and they were planting seeds. Don't ever let anybody, I don't care where y'all live at, you know, the roll call people say they from everywhere. Don't ever let no nigga from New York City come to your city and act crazy and he don't know no lessons. If he don't know no lessons, if he can't recite no kind of consciousness, he's the walking dead. He's probably a fucking reject from the city because that's not the kind of people that we was raising. We was raising intelligent hoodlums. We was raising sophisticated savages. Not no fucking knuckle draggers who just straight savage, don't know nothing, can't contribute anything to the conversation, don't bring shit to the table, but a whole bunch of devilishment. Nah, that's not that ain't what we create out here. That's not what we create. Do the research and go back and do the research on what this city is built from. They built off of the foundation is the God, y'all. Hands down. There's no other organization. The nation had they run, and they always are respected. But you can't even talk about gangs because gangs don't have impact like that. There's no crack gangs. What's his name? Nicky Barnes. None of that stupid shit. We're not talking about no dope dealers that's out here. We ain't talking about no pimps. Because to be honest with you, there wasn't really a time in New York City where that was the wave. You understand? The kingpins get robbed in New York. Okay? Kingpins get tied up. There would never be a BMF in New York City. You know what I'm talking about? Kingpins get tied up. New York is not built like that. You don't have kingpins in New York. You know, you got niggas that got runs. They got lucky, but you don't have that mentality don't exist. It's more robbers out here. It's more stick-up kids in the city than it is, you know, that you see shit like that going on down south and in the Midwest and in other things. This is a mob city. This is mob influence. So you'll get clipped real fast. They'll Benny Blanco you in New York City real quick. They ain't with all of that. You gotta have an army with you if you think you're gonna run around on some bullshit. Don't let these niggas lie to you. All of the rappers are lying, even Jay-Z, and they'll tell you that. Who are they talking about? None of them are telling you, you know, with Biggie, they bringing him into the Hall of Fame. He wasn't telling the truth. That's the big homie. But he was just a rapper. He's an artist. He's a musician. His mama will tell you that. His mama tell you that. Nigga was living with his mama. Wasn't no Big Willie. Jay-Z wasn't no Big Willie. He was getting the same amount of money that any New Yorker who went out of town was getting. They know how they would come back with 30 racks, nigga. The word in the streets is you had 3 million. That's how New York is. That's how Brooklyn is, especially. Anybody in the chat from Bed-Stuy and the Bush, they'll let you know. We'll make 500 look like 5 racks. You know what I'm talking about? We know how to make that shit look like something other than what it is. You know? The Bloods took over New York. Shit. The Crips took over. That might be true. They did take over New York, but they don't have it no more. You know? They don't have it no more. I think the Crips done rose up, especially after the Tekashi things. The Bloods lost they, you know, quietly. That's why Casanova got thrown under the bus by Pop Smoke. They not jacking that blood shit right now. They moving with that woo shit real heavy in New York. It's the woo. It's, you know, and I ain't talking Wu-Tang either. I'm talking the Crips. They banging that blue. You know. So the illest rappers. Remember, without no golden era, there is no hip hop. You know what I mean? Don't talk to me about Sir Mix-a-Lot and all of that stupid shit coming out of, you know, when they started commercializing it, Young MC and all of that. Without the golden era of hip hop, there is no hip hop. So the golden era of hip hop was all influenced by the nations of gods and earth, hands down. Farrakhan had an influence. Malachi Z. York had an influence. Malachi Z. York had an influence. Who else? I can't say Drew Ali too tough. I would be lying to you. The Drew Ali, the Moorish wave is very millennial. But the super duper wave was Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad, and the gods through Father Allah. That's the foundation of New York gangsterism. That's the foundation to New York street culture. That's the foundation to New York hip hop, and then vicariously global hip hop. That's the foundation to the golden era. That's the foundation to this conscious youth movement, this God body, because a majority of our teachers started out as gods. If you want to go and do your research, the majority of our teachers walked through the gods. So I like to deal with where niggas started at. Fuck where you at. Where you at don't mean nothing. Where did you start from? What door did you walk through to get you in this space that you are? Oh, you niggas all walk through the gods and earths. How interesting. How interesting. So are they not still carrying out the quote unquote mission that Father Allah put them on? But at this point, they're manifesting 720. You're not going to do it, mate. You might not do it in the lodge or the temple. You might get your 120 in there, but then you go into the wilderness and then you pick up other degrees and then you bring that whole thing right back around again. And then you manifest 720. So we're going through those degrees and those phases at the end of the day that, you know, it's plus degrees and it's plus degrees going down right now. It's people, you got teenagers that's well versed in like 8 schools of knowledge. They can body you like 8 different ways. So that organization, it doesn't get its credit, you know. It doesn't get its credit. It doesn't get its accolades. They not paying homage to the work that the gods in these streets was doing. And these niggas wasn't in the boardroom. They in the streets. They outside, like they like to say. They outside. And I don't, you know, I'm not dismissing nobody's city and what nobody around their way was doing in the 80s or the 90s. You know, everybody has their influence. Everybody has their quote unquote big homies. Everybody has their divine spark. I could only speak for what I was exposed to and what I saw. And when I sit back and I look at the impact culturally, it's about impact. When I look at the impact, when I look at the overall impact, because I'm from the city, I'm in the sandbox with a whole bunch of people. So I already know where niggas started at, and I know what they became, and I know who they are now. So I know that before Son became a lowlife, he had a righteous name. I know that before Son became a Decepticon, and before he became a master, a King Blood or superior, he was out here with the lessons. I know that before homie became a big drug dealer, Kingpin Willie and whatnot, oh nah, he was out here selling incense. So people are returning back to their foundation. What do I mean? I mean that these same gods and these same OGs and these same individuals who are out here waking people up, but, you know, also surviving in the jungle, you know, that's repeating itself in these days and times where you have brothers and whatnot that's from the streets. I'm talking about straight up, you know, scruff, you know, straight knuckles are scruffed up from dragging. You know what I mean? You know, hooded justice niggas. They all in the hood. And what are they becoming? They becoming the big homies to the little homies who don't got a big homie. They becoming big homies to the little homies who don't got a father, right? They're becoming the quote unquote role models for these young gods who don't have nothing to look up to. You know what I'm saying? So but these young children they're not necessarily being exposed to niggatry or negativity or self-destruction. They're being exposed to entrepreneurship. They're being exposed to new ways of thinking, new methods of problem solving, new ways of dealing with, conflict and whatnot. They're being introduced to the new economies that exist. They're being introduced to the new technology that exists. They're being introduced to Forex. They're being introduced to streaming and whatnot, how to get paid off of streams. So there's all of these things that are going on where the youth are getting an opportunity. They're receiving an opportunity to excel from people who are older than them, or people who are more experienced or in better positions than them, pulling them up, pulling them up. And if everyone is a part of that, I salute you, because that's part of the solution. That's what these kids need. That's what these kids need. Yeah, Forex is lit. You know what I'm talking about? Forex is lit. It's already a migration back to the South. New York City is the top city that's losing its inhabitants. More people are leaving New York than anywhere else. Yeah. A migration to the middle America. Yeah, there's a mass exodus out of New York City. I don't know about Chicago. I know San Francisco is emptying out, but New York is emptying out by the thousands. By the thousands. They leave in New York City in droves. It's too expensive. Somebody said NC is a gold mine. Yeah, I've been hearing that. Yeah, North America is damn sure is cold. But I could deal with seasons though. I could deal with the seasons. You know what I'm saying? If it was hot all year round, we would get bored. We would get bored. Everyone's in the Carolinas. Yeah, the Russians took over Coney Island. Everybody's in what you would call it, in the Carolinas. Yeah. What up, Queen on set? Brooklyn is definitely not the same. I can't even get back in Brooklyn. I'm in the Bronx. Bro, I've been trying to get back to Brooklyn for 6 months. No bueno. I cannot get back in Brooklyn. I cannot get back in Brooklyn. I don't know what it is, yo. I can't even get into Harlem. You know what I'm talking about? I can't get into Harlem. I can't get into Harlem or Brooklyn. 6 months, nonstop, putting in applications, all of that. Niggas is they're not opening up the doors, y'all. So it ain't even like New Yorkers are getting lazy. They're getting pushed out of New York. They're getting pushed out. You feel me? They're getting pushed out of the city, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But what is that saying? What is that saying? Is that not saying that it's time to go somewhere new, to experience some new things? Is it not saying that time has expired? Is it not saying it's time for new surroundings? Is it not saying that, you know what, that city life is cute and everything, but y'all need your own village. You need your own town. We're gonna make things uncomfortable for you right now. We're gonna have you niggas on some exodus shit, on some migration shit. And some of y'all can figure it out. You're just gonna get your own town, because if there's one thing that we know is that this shit is happening everywhere. We know that it's happening everywhere. So being that we know that it's happening everywhere, build it and they will come. Why does Akon have to be? Why does he get to be the only one that put his name in the record books as building a city? Why can't it be, a few of us? Why? Because when Akon said that he has his own city, niggas didn't say, "Oh, you don't have an army, you can't do that." Niggas didn't say, "Oh, they're gonna come and bomb you like Black Wall Street." No, niggas did not say that. They let that shit rock. They knew that he's gonna build a Wakanda. They understood. They didn't say, "Oh, China's gonna blow it up." They said China gave him some money. I said, "Nigga, that nigga's a genius." What are you talking about? You don't spend your own money, retard. And I'm sure that he didn't give it. He didn't take their money so they could own the goddamn city. But if they're going to assist and if they're going to lend resources, and of course they're going to own a percentage, they're going to have whatever they, whatever they negotiate, which is fine by me. Shit. I ain't gonna sit over, I'm not gonna sit where I'm in the Bronx and try to philosophize about where Akon went right and wrong. I'm gonna talk about the trade deal, not on tonight's show. That show is gonna be dealing with economics. Okay, that's gonna be for the Patreons. We're gonna deal with the Trump trade deal, and that's gonna be a prelude to the facts and whatnot, because that needs to be talked about. That needs to be talked about. And when it comes to situations like that, when it comes to conversations such as that, I don't want to have those conversations on YouTube in the public. I want to have private conversations. There's a difference between public and private information. Public information is the information that we're having right now. There were some things that were said tonight that could have been held for private conversation, but for the most part, this is a public forum and this is a public venue. And, we're going to talk publicly about public things. But the same thing as when you in public school or private school, there's a whole nother conversation going on in private school. The same way that you understand that there's public citizens and there's private citizens, there's a whole different level of conversation going on amongst private citizens. When you have public companies and then you have private companies, there's a whole level of privacy and there's a whole level of upgrade going on inside of these private companies. So we're going to begin to implement more private conversations. We're going to begin to implement more of a privatized way of communication. We could do it on the same platform that we have right here. This is the new platform that we're going to be using. But we could do the same platform amongst a specialized private group, And when it comes to speaking about the plans that we have, specifically the steps that we're taking and intellectual property and stuff like that, I will not be doing that on a public platform. I won't be doing that on the public. I'm sorry. I'm talking about? That's to be had amongst membership, paid members, quality of members, those who believe and have faith in the program and in our vision. And the way that I know that they have faith is because they vote with their dollars. They vote. I could trust them before I could trust anybody else who I've never met on the internet. What I'm talking about? I can at least begin to trust them because they have shown that they believe in what it is that we're doing by becoming patrons. So it's time to start having privatized groups. It's time to have private. That's why the lectures are private. Okay. That's why the lectures are private. The lectures are private because the stuff that we're talking about in the lectures, first of all, if you put it on YouTube for free, nobody will respect it. It's the information is so leveled up then it won't be respected. They'll be like, you know, like Blue Pills 44 talk. You know, that's not for the public. You know what I'm talking about? That's not, people in the public don't understand that. That's not for public school. That's the shit that you pay for in private school. It hit differently. You know what I'm talking about? It hit differently. That's not public information. It's not received, you know, by the public because it's not for them. This is for masters. You understand? These are for people, these are for students out here looking for their PhD. So imagine if a PhD teacher comes amongst 8th graders and starts teaching. They're gonna be like, what is this nigga talking about? And first, and who is he? You know what I'm talking about? Like, who are you talking about? Like, you know, oh yeah, I hear you. That's deep. Okay. Yeah, Ashe. But what about the children? What about the students who paid for a PhD class, who show up to the PhD class and they pick it out and they go there specifically to learn about the PhDs, right? When they go, right? That's what they get. That's what they get, what they paid for. So that's where that's exactly what we are going, you know, this year, unapologetically. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're gonna do this for you and I's betterment. You know what I mean? It's gonna make us all better people at the end of the day. You know, because one of the things that I know is that we have work to be done, things have to be done, and I can't be on a public platform throwing out billion-dollar ideas, you know what I mean, and looking for the billionaire investors, you know, and just throwing out all of these gems and pitching all of these pearls while people in the public will catch your pearls and run with it. They will never invest in you. They won't never give you no tips for the pearls that you've thrown. They won't do anything but rob your quote unquote. You know, they are tomb raiders. You know, they'll rob your treasury. And we live in an era of tomb raiders. Nobody knocked off Budge's head. Nobody went into Egypt. Nobody ran up on these. Nobody caught up to none of these tomb raiders and knocked their blocks off to show the world. Nah, the mummies worked these niggas though. The mummies went to work. The tomb raiders was in England dying like flies after they went in them, inside of them damn tombs. But average people, they wasn't sliding on the tomb raiders to be like, this ain't that era. So this is the era of tomb raiding. And these niggas will run up in your tombs and sniff your they'll grind your mummy up and sniff it. That's a fact. They don't got no respect for mummies, my nigga. So they don't got no respect for the living. You know what I'm talking about? They don't got no respect for the livings. So you out here giving out all of this free game and it's not going to get you nowhere. So henceforth, membership, quality of membership. That's what I'm looking for. Quality of membership. People is really about this life and they have a belief system intact to where they believe in the teachings. They believe in the information. They believe in the ancestors. They believe in the universe. And then they know. And then when they know, they become it. Their being. They become it. They become it. That's the trajectory that we're aiming for. You know, that part. Because that's going to be the part that's going to achieve. That's going to assist you in achieving your goals faster than if you were to take the other route. And there's many different other routes. You know, the other route would be, you know, I don't even want to talk about the other routes. You know, yes, they do. The meditations works exponentially. I know some people whose lives change 1,000-fold based off of the meditations. You know what I mean? We're going to do an 11:11 meditation tonight. We're going to close it out at 11:11. We're going to end it on a meditation, the Om Padme Om. You know, we'll bring that back tonight. But yeah, thank you for even bringing up the meditations. You know, yeah, the brother said, I'm just like you. I need 1,000 faithful followers. I'm telling you, if I had 1,000 of y'all, 1,000, that's it. We could take over the world. You know, and I only want to say followers. I would say family. You know, 1,000. It's the true fan theory. Go and look it up. Chris Anderson, the editor of The Wire, he has a book called The Long Tail. I won't hold this information from y'all. This is for the public. You know, and there's a formula that he introduced called a 1,000 fan theory. And that shit will have you lit. You know what I'm saying? It will have you lit. And it will have you productive. And it will have you feeling very appreciated. Any city that you go to, any capsules, any merch lines that you drop, any projects that you drop, any of your art that you put out there, anytime you show up somewhere in the flesh to share your works, you will be received by your supporters. The 1,000 fan theory. All right. So I would say I would call it supporters. If I had 1,000 solid, it's super fans though. It can't be regular fans, super fans. So that translates to super supporters, which basically translates to super Patreons or patrons. So the website called Patreon is actually I promise you, if I never really did the research on the creators of that website, but I would put money on it to say that they read Chris Anderson's book about the quote unquote 1,000 fan theory, because the way that website is set up and the way that Patreon is set up, it's there to satisfy the 1,000 fan theory, because you can have 1,000 Patreons, and with 1,000 Patreons, you are basically you are enacting that formula. That is a winning formula. 1,000 fan theory, right? And the book is The Long Tail, Chris Anderson. I'm gonna write it right here. The Long Tail. Just the long tail itself, what he breaks down what the long tail is, that in it of itself, I could do an 8-hour lecture just on that topic. That book by itself is a must read. The Long Tail. He's the editor from Wired. I love reading. I'm a subscriber to Wired magazine from the early 2000s. You know, I love technology. And the long tail is describing the internet. And the internet is a disruptor because the internet disrupted physical reality by introducing the long tail. And what the long tail is and why it's a disruptor and why it's different from physical reality or the reality that we all knew is two-dimensional is because digital products do not exist in the physical world. Digital products do not have a cap on them. Digital products do not occupy the quote unquote space and volume. It doesn't follow that model. It doesn't occupy physical space. It's not created from atoms. You understand? A song on iTunes is not the same as a record at Tower Record. That's why none of those stores are in business anymore, because those stores did not abide by the long tail. To be honest with you, when that book came out, right? When that book came out, not TED Talks, Red Talks. Let's be clear, Red Talks. Because I be watching them TED Talks. Some shit's not upstairs like that. I could get on that stage and body that, Red Talks. But the physical space that a CD took up in Sam Goody, the physical space that a record took up in Tower Records, it can only allocate certain shelf life for a top 10 album. You could not have multiple genres like trap, rap, calypso, merengue. They got niches for everything now. You know what I'm talking about? My son listens to all of the spoof music. Like there's top 20 hits, then there's a whole genre of like Indian and Asian kids that just do spoof music, Minecraft, all of these remixes of all of the hot songs. That's all he listens to. So there's mad different music right now. The reason why you can do that is because Spotify and Pandora, all of these digital quote unquote record stores, they have a long tail. The tail never ends. There's a nonstop. There's Amazon.com, the long tail. His inventory never ends. It is an ongoing stream of inventory. It never ends. So the white boys took that formula and they bodied that shit. They became billionaires off of that one simple formula about the long tail. Something simple that some of our people should be able to unpack and be able to really break that down. It's not that deep. It's a simple concept. It's called atoms versus bits. You're not going to win with atoms. You're going to win with bits in this digital world, because the world of the bits, that's digital. The atoms, that's the analog. That world is not, that's not jacking like that. The real world, the new world is the digital world. It's the atoms. Click and order versus brick and mortar. And like I say, the game is to be sold. You couldn't have an album in H&M, not H&M, what's the shit? What's the record store from back in the days? DMV, or whatever the hell that was. You can have an album in Sam Goody, Tower Records. You would have to be signed to a label to have your album in all of those top stores. Now, you can have your album on all of the top streaming sites: Tidal, Apple, Spotify, right? And you don't have to be signed to no label. You don't got to be nobody's contracted slave. The only person that you contracted to is the digital distribution platform that you're using. Other than that, you could do it by yourself. You could put an album out every week. It could be super trash, straight doodle, right? Basura. You could just be mumbling. You don't have to say nothing. Do you understand what's going on right now? And your covers could be trash. And then 50 years down the line, you do some shit that makes you lit. Your whole catalog, all of your trash becomes somebody's treasure. So now, based off of the fact that you did the right paperwork and you own your publishing, you have 8,000 pieces of digital atoms in cyberspace that are creating an income stream that will add on to your quote unquote multiple income streams, and it's a recurring payment because it's a royalty. Do you see what's going on right now? So what we could be creating, if we were just to see the big picture, we're not creating it. We're supposed to be locking into studios every night creating content, because content is king. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna walk through this digital age you know, in lack, or looking for a solution, or asking some European peckerwood to help me out. You niggas is out of your minds. You know what I'm talking about? You're out of your minds. We could all, every city that I pull up in, I should be lit. I should be in the studio for a few days making albums with you niggas, putting that on the streaming service, shooting videos, going into the you know, bringing my machines with me, making some cloth. I just told my girl that tonight, I said, yo, my dream for 2020 is to spend $100,000 on machines. And I'm not talking about the niggas on Griselda. You know what I'm talking about? I want to spend 100 racks on machines. I got a book right here. Let me see. I got a few books. And these books contain machines that cost $10,000, $20,000, $5,000, $30,000. But let me tell you something about these machines. And niggas who talk about, oh, the AI is coming to steal our jobs, y'all niggas is weird to me. Y'all are so weird to me. You are obviously not a boss, you a worker. Because nigga, that's work talk. That ain't cloth talk, nigga. That's broth talk. And the broth that I'm talking about is soy sauce broth. That's real soy. That's real moist of you. The machines is gonna take our jobs. Nigga, a boss thinks that the machines is gonna make him more money because you're not a fucking mule. You're not here to do work, my nigga. That's what the Industrial Revolution is. Say our shade to the ancestors for that. What the fuck is you talking about? Niggas is getting scared about automation. Nigga, automation is how you get more money faster. What are you talking about? You niggas want to clean toilets all your life. You know what I'm talking about? You damn right that you got some blood, you got some slave in you. Niggas want to be servants all their life. They want to be the workers all their life. Oh, the machines is taking my job. Oh, the Mexicans is taking my job. Do you know what I see when I see a Mexican? I see niggas that could build my house for me. You understand? I see niggas that could build my baby schools for them because they're the builders and they do it at a great price. I'm not mad at them. What's goody? I'm on my show. You want me to bring you in? All right. All right. I'll hit you later. You upset about automation? You don't know what happened in the Industrial Revolution? You niggas never worked in the assembly? You never worked at General Motors? What are you talking about? You don't watch the TV show How It's Made? You're not on the internet, nigga? What are you talking about? Nigga, automation is lit. Stop listening to these people that's gonna keep you in a poverty mind state, bro. That's so backwards. Automation is lit. That's something doing this job so you don't gotta do it. What are you talking about? That's a machine. There's machines doing our job right now. My whole business, my whole clothing business is done by machines. What are you talking about? It's all machine done. I mean, I do the work, I do the physical labor, but I'm working with my guy. I'm working with machines. Those are my guys. They make my life easy. This defeatist mentality got to go, bro. What the fuck is going on with our people? Going back to what I said, when I'm able to spend, thank the ancestors for granting me the opportunity to spend $100,000 on all of these machines that is going to make me more than 1 million, and is going to employ a whole bunch of people, and is going to empower a whole bunch of different brands, and it's going to create wealth and value. Remember, we create value, us. So don't nobody ever ask me, yo, how we gonna do this? How we gonna do that? Well, you niggas gotta start adding value to each other, to your brands, and to your services, and to your products. If there's one amongst us who have a great service, you know, we gotta add value to that. That's what we do. Because we are responsible for saying, yo, that nigga's lit. We black people, right? We melanated Negroes, black, whatever you want to call it. We are the ones who dictate what's dripping or not. We're the ones who dictate what's lit or not. We're the ones who say that's in and that's out. That's cool and that's not. So what does that translate to? You are the ones who dictate value. So you can add value to yourself the same way that we can take away value from each other. If somebody's not lit, if somebody's canceled and whatnot, we collectively come together and we take away, we devalue them, we cancel them, we tear them down, we destroy their stocks. You understand? We do that. So if we can do that, we could also speak positivity. We could also speak value into brands, into people's lives, into what they do, into their platforms, into their purpose, into their visions. So the only people in our way is us. I don't want to hear nothing. The fuck? Can't blame no. I'm not the one. You could, you know, niggas could wallow in the mud other places where it's a whole bunch of pity parties. Niggas is just out there hugging each other and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Hugs are us. But you're not gonna get that over here. We got moves to make and we're exuberant. I saw the future. You know what I'm saying? You can't fool me. You know, I know what it looks like. So I'm adamant about getting there. And I know that to get there, it's going to take a lot of motherfucking work. And niggas is going to have to get their hands dirty. You understand? Straight like that. You're going to have to put your hands in the dirt. Real talk. You got to be on offense and defense to get this chip. To get this chip, niggas got to play hard like LeBron with that white boy on his ass from Dallas. That's how we got to play. So with that being said, I'm going to take y'all out of here with this meditation, with this own pad me own. You know what I'm talking about? And we're going to see y'all on Melanin. We're going to see you Melanin Mondays. All right?